Yo, what's up everyone? My name's Dave and you suck at programming, and today I'm going to demystify if statements in Bash. Sounds kind of weird, right? But you ever notice that there's the test command, there's a single square bracket, there are double square brackets, sometimes there's two open parentheses. What's going on here? Let's jump into it. Let's break it down. All right, so what do we have here? We have a lot of test scripts. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into the first script, simple test. If test minus f foo.jpg, then we print foo.jpg exists. Let's go ahead and run that. And we get foo.jpg exists. As you can see, foo.jpg does exist. So that looks really good. As you can see, the test command, what did it do? It tested that it was -f. This means test to see that it's a file. There are a whole bunch of things you can test for. We can run man test, and there'll be a whole list of things that we can do here, right? I'll get to this in a second, but yes, most of these should work, but we'll dive into it. There's a lot to talk about. Let's move on to the next script, which is the simple bracket. Same exact thing, -f, but we're using a single bracket. Will this work? Yeah, it'll work. It's the same exact thing, right? And then let's talk about this one. We have the double square bracket. Will this one work? Of course it will. So they're all exactly the same, right? Not quite. Let's talk about it. First things first, what is test? Let's do which tests. It exists in our file system, but we're in Bash. Type -a test. Test is a shell built in. Test is also /bin/test. So test is built into Bash, but there is also a command that exists on your system called test. It's POSIX, it has to be there. But test is built into your shell. Because it's built in, we don't need the man page, we need the help page. This is how we view man pages for built-in commands in Bash. Help test, here's everything we can do with test. So here's every possible operation. As you can see, we were using -f, which is true if the file exists and is a regular file. There's a whole bunch of other stuff we can do here. We have equal, not equal, less than, greater than. We have all sorts of fun stuff that we can do with that. We also have help single bracket. That is built into Bash. This is a synonym for the test built in, but the last argument must be a literal closing brace. So to answer people's questions, first and foremost, test is the same as the open and close square brackets. They are the same. They are so much the same that this will exist on your file system. I'm not joking. This is an actual command on your file system. You can execute it. You could quote it if you want to, and we could say -f foo.jpg, close that bracket, and it returns 0 because it exists. That I'm not lying to you. That really does exist on your machine. A little bit gnarly when people first find it out. I would invite you to go actually look into the source code for some of these things, because a lot of times test and open square bracket are the same program. There's just a nice little pound defined at the top that figures out how they're being compiled. You actually has a compiler flag. I'd have to double check. Whatever. They're the same program effectively. The square bracket just requires the closing square bracket. So let's talk about some fun stuff going on here. Let's look at the next script here. We're having a bit of a deep dive here. We're going to use the double square brackets. The double square brackets are specific to Bash. They are built into Bash. There is nothing on your file system that can do this. This is only built into Bash. So when you use double square brackets, you're saying, I definitely want the Bash version of this. We get some more features than just the test command or the single square brackets. So let's define a variable. F is test.jpg. And then we're going to check, does test.jpg equal star.jpg? $f is a JPEG file, $f is not a JPEG file. What do you think is going to happen? Are we going to match it? I mean, it's a star here. Are we going to expand that glob? Let's run it. Test.jpg is a JPEG file, meaning that this was true. So this is equal to star.jpg. Notice that the double square brackets allow you to do patterns. The next script is called pattern fail because it's the exact same script, but we're using single square brackets. So this is the more POSIX-y version. As you can see, we get an error here. It doesn't work. We get too many arguments. There's too much stuff going on here. The reason we get too many arguments is because this is actually being expanded to all of the JPEGs in your current directory. So be careful with this. So yeah, that's why that one fails. So when I'm in Bash, I prefer to stick to the double square bracket, but there are some gotchas you should know about. What do I mean there's some gotchas you should know about? Let's talk about it. How do we not do pattern checking? Well, it's Bash. We just quote it. Quote your right-hand side argument, and this will stop it from doing like globbing or pattern or wildcard matching. If you quote it, it will check for literally being that. So when we run this, we can see test.jpg is not literally star.jpg, which is good. It shouldn't be. It should fail that if statement and we should get here. That's what happens. That's awesome. So then you might be wondering, Well, wait, what else is there? Well, we have numbers here, right? So we have a equal to 9, b equal to 10. Let's check. If b is greater than a, then we'll print b is greater than a. Otherwise, we'll print, So let's look at this. b is 10 and a is 9. So 10 is greater than 9, right? Let's go ahead and run that. I'm just laughing that I put a there. So what's going on? You might already know what's going on, but let's jump into it. We have to use this syntax. This is the more POSIX style, like the test syntax, -GT for greater than, because this will work. And I'm spoiling that, but yeah, you can see 10 is greater than 9. So why does that work? Well, let's pull up the help page for square brackets, and there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff here. In fact, a lot of them are inherited from tests. So let's pull up that, and let's go here. String less than, string greater than. True if string 1 sorts after string 2 lexicographically. So it's doing basically alphabetical sort, lexicographically. I think that's how you pronounce it. So what's happening here is we're treating them as strings, and the string 1 sorts before the string 9. We're not sorting them numerically. We're not comparing them numerically. We're comparing them like strings. So that's a gotcha to watch out for. Even though I told you to stick with the bash syntax, you can still run into issues. So how do we fix it? Well, you use that -GT, like I showed you. This will fix it. Or what I like to do, get ready for this. This is real syntax. I'm not lying to you. We can use open parens. Double open paren, double close paren. This is arithmetic expression. This is specific to bash. Only bash can do this, but now this will treat them like numbers, and this means we don't need the dollar signs in front of them. They'll get expanded automatically. We can use all sorts of numeric comparisons here. You run this, and it just works. You can do help on open parens like this, and you get the help message, and you will see that it's equivalent to let. So this takes whatever let takes, so we can do help on let. And here's a list of all of the things we can do. Look, we have post increment, we have pre-increment, we have exponential, we have modular division, we can do bit shifts, logical, bitwise operations. There's even a little like ternary thing in here. There's a lot you can do with bash math. It is pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully I demystified all this stuff for you. And of course, huge shout out to my patrons over at Patreon. Thank you for your continued support. It's awesome. It makes this content possible. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Wild True Do Coffee, Vorno, Bubsky, Hawk, Balram, Chase, Fractal, Nick. Thank you, Ron, Luke, Greg, Adam, David, Arex. We got a lot of people here. This list just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I don't know how we're going to fit it all in the terminal. Well, we'll have to figure that out together. We might have like some sort of scrolling thing going on. And I've been reading people's names at the end of these videos, but the more people that sign up, the harder this might be. I'll keep it up, but yeah, just thank you so much. What a blessed problem to have, that I'm concerned about what I'm going to do when I keep getting more members and have more names to read. So I'm thankful to be in this position. Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it.